Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance from the house of Sean John. The fragrance we're going to touch upon today is called 3 a.m. Now, 3 a.m.'s Sean John was released this year in 2015. It's a new fragrance, and I was pretty eager to get my hands on it just because I heard a couple whisperings about it, just some positive, some negative, and figured, you know what, it's been a while since I've reviewed a fragrance from Sean John, and Sean John has produced some good scents that I actually do like. Unforgivable, Platinum, those are great scents, and I wanted to, just go ahead and review a new fragrance and kind of keep up to date with them. So that brings us to this review. Now the bottle, I actually do like the bottle design. It's a little bit similar to some of the Dior bottles, but who's complaining? It's, in red, and at the end of the day, I really do like the bottle design. So not much to say there. It's available in two main sizes, a 1.7 and a 3.4. 1.7 is going to run you about $55 retail, and a 3.4 is going to run you about $70 retail. So all in all, I'd say it's priced pretty fairly, but let's go ahead and get right into the notes of the fragrance. The notes of the fragrance consist of, at our top, we've got bergamot, mandarin, and cardamom. For our mid, we have geranium, fig leaf, orange blossom. And for our base, we have tonic water and leather. So right off the bat, when I sprayed this, I got this very refreshing gin and tonic smell, which really just invigorated me. I was like, wow, this is a great fragrance, I thought, initially. I thought this is a great fragrance because the opening is really fantastic. I think it's a very unique opening, and I really like what they did with the citrus, the tonic water, and the mandarin notes, and it has a little bit of a spicy vibe to it too, which really gives it a really nice kind of like sparkling gin and tonic scent. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't last too long, about 30 minutes at tops. After about that, it turns into this figgy citrus scent. The fig note really comes out a little bit more in that, and the citrus note comes out in it, and that gin and tonic smell that you initially fall in love with kind of dies down and goes away immediately, which is really sad because I thought that was the highlight of this fragrance in it, and it eventually dries down. If you're familiar with a lot of these citrus scents, especially citrus scents that were released in like the 90s, 2000s, if they don't have woods in it, they kind of die down to this stale citrus scent, which is kind of what Sean John does at times. And some of the times when I wore it, I'd say 4 out of the 7 times that I tested it out, it dried down to this stale citrus scent that was kind of like this everyday citrus scent, whereas the other times, it was actually a pretty decent, presentable citrus scent. So I'm not sure if it was something that I ate during the day. All I know is that the dry down still leaves something to be desired. The note that I didn't get from this, which I was surprised from, was that leather note. It may be the leather note that's producing that weird smell that I'm kind of getting at times, but I didn't really get a true leather note that I would like, or that I was kind of hoping from this as well too. So the fact that the gin and tonic smell disappears, even though that's the best part of this fragrance, and the fact that it's not really much to write home about in the mid and dry down, it's not that great of a fragrance. Spray wise, I go about 4 to 6 sprays because the performance on this, it just doesn't have really good performance on this. We're talking about a fragrance that is going to last you a maximum of like 4 to 6 hours max. I had it last as little as 3 hours, and as much, on the high end was like 5.5 basically. So I'm giving it that 6 hour, minimum. But there's not really much to write home about that one on that. Season wise and the occasion wise, I do think that it's a good work fragrance. There aren't going to be people that think that you smell bad when you're smelling this scent. But at the same time, because you kind of smell that generic citrusy smell, you're not really going to get any compliments from this one. Even though I did get a compliment from this one. But that was from, I took it out basically and had somebody smell it, and they were like, oh yeah, that's such a great scent, and I attribute that more to smelling the top rather than smelling the actual fragrance in its entirety. So yes, that top is an excellent fragrance, and it's an excellent grabber, but not much to write home about that. Great spring fragrance and great summer fragrance, and any age group can go ahead and pull this one off. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give it a rating, and I'm being generous with this one, I'm giving it a rating of 5 out of 10. I say I'm being generous with this one because I do think that this is one, because it has that cardamom unknown, because it has spices, it's really more affected by your skin than it is anything else. So I think for some people, this is going to be magical on their skin. But I still can't get around that, longevity and anything. But in any case, it's a decently priced fragrance. I think that for its price, it's adequately priced, but I do think that it's eventually going to be a fragrance you're going to see quickly in the bargain bin in about a year or two. It's going to go the way of a lot of those celebrity scents, for that matter. Poor performance, not really too consistent. The opening is excellent, but the rest of the fragrance is meh. So it kind of gives me the the feeling that this is one of those scents that is meant to grab people by its name, and it's able to grab people, by the star power behind it, the Sean John, and it's able to grab people by its initial smell, which is just magical. And then once you got it, it's just like meh. It's anything else basically. So, it doesn't really get any good points for that. But I'm giving it that little boost in scent and rating just because of the fact that that opening really is that good for it. But the rest of the fragrance can't write home about. If this were to drop in price by say half, I'd put this at about like a 6 out of 10 with that, and it would make a decent offering for it. But right now it's going to stay at the 5 out of 10 mark. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free. Send me a note, leave me a message, do whatever you got to do. Thank you guys. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.